All right, good morning, guys. Christmas Eve. This is mainly just a quick little thing. I had a few minutes to get out here in the shop this morning, so I thought I would. Mainly to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So quick little setup. What's been going on in the shop? Been working on my little fixture table, we'll call it. This little welding table that I've used for my TIG welding table for quite some time. Got it all drilled and tapped now for holes and studs for fixtures. I kind of did a little blurb on this that I'll put together and put out with a little more in-depth on the tooling and stuff that I built for this table and I'm building today. And that's kind of what I'm working on today. Let me bring it down and show it to you. So this is the table in its current configuration. You know, you've seen me weld on this table before. I had some holes drilled in it for things like my barrel vise sits right here. And I've had a couple layouts that for products that I've built over the years or projects that I've done over the years that I've just built holes. So I went back and I put put holes in it. These are just 5/8 through holes that I'm using for fixtures. And then these are 5/8 11, I think is what the threading is on these for studs. Every other hole when it was convenient. You know, if it interfered with the hole that was already here, too close, something like that, I didn't worry about it. And it's not perfect. I've got a couple of baubles on it that for what I want to use it for really doesn't matter. I'll build little small fixtures that I'll just drop in or bolt in place to hold them in position more than anything else. But this will give me a little more versatility. I've taken and added a bunch of studs, or I'm slowly adding studs. These are from McMaster in different lengths and stuff. These are a few of them sitting here. I went with this 5/8 thread because that's what my planer tooling is that came with the planer. So as I build more tooling for the planer, I'm going to base that off of 5/8 threaded parts. So I wanted something a little more universal. So that's why I went with 5/8 here. And I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing on their fixture tables. I'm building cheap Harbor Freight hold down clamps and stuff. These are some that I finished up yesterday. And, you know, they work out fine. Guys are just taking and cutting off at the bottoms of the jaws. I've ground off the rivet and pushed out the rivet and knocked the bottom cast iron jaw off, so I get that extra ½ inch or whatever it is. Probably doesn't make any difference. 5/8 bolts, whether they're shoulder bolts or standard bolts the guys have been using, and some guys are just taking a piece of 5/8 and welding onto the end to drop in there. What I ended up and did, I was going to use bolts, just standard bolts, and I was too cheap to do that for just a standard grade 5 bolt with a shoulder on it. They were $3 and up per bolt. Well, that's more than I paid for the clamps on sale. So I just set up in the lathe, took some 3/4 inch stock, turned it back to a shoulder, and I parted these off in the lathe. The rest of them that I make, I'm just going to take and turn up to a shoulder, add my bevels here, and then I'm just going to take it over to the metal cutting miter saw and just bob them off to length. That'll be fine, and then just hit them with the grinder on the end. This to me was a whole lot cheaper and easier than messing around I was going to have to cut down bolts and everything anyway. And this gives me a shoulder for them to set on, so they lock in real well. You know, do a good job as well as anything else. And these are quick to make. I face off the end, add a bevel. I can turn this diameter for just under an inch is what I'm using here in one pass on the lathe, and it's a done deal. So anyway, those are going to work out pretty well. That's kind of what I'm messing with today. Is I've got 4 more of these that I'm going to turn into these style hold downs, and then I've got some cheapy vice grips I'm going to do the same with, so they drop in the same way. And other stuff going on. I've got the bronze bearing stock for the gearbox on the Sheldon lathe. That came in yesterday. I've got the felt for the wipers on the grown-up corn tool and cutter grinder for the main bar, where those wipers will go on there. And I got a few more studs yesterday. So stuff's rolling in. I've got should be here, I think the beginning of next week is probably the round stock for the tilting bracket for the rotating workhead, I guess, on the grown-up corn. It'll be here. That was a Flea Bay purchase. I could get it cheaper there than I could anything else, and for a better material, actually. It was a drop. That's going on, and that's kind of what I got happening in the world today. So I'm going to work on these welding clamps first. If I got time, I'll start turning bushings for in the gearbox for on the Sheldon lathe. So anyway, quick little update. Wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope you have a safe and happy holiday, and we'll talk to you after Christmas.